What's up, guys? I am Rob. This is Cultured, as well as an album review of Jelly Roll's Self-Medicated. Never heard of old Jelly Boy before. It's a funny name. I thought I'd give the first few tracks a listen to see if it was worth reviewing or not. It took me 20 seconds into the first track to decide I'm going to review this. I got halfway through the second track for me to pause the album and send him a message on Instagram saying, I'm listening to the album. I really like it. Well done. Can't wait to hear more work from you. It took me halfway through the third track to pause the album again, get up and do a lap of the house. That's how good it was. It made me do a lap of my own house. I know what's in my house. I don't need to do a lap to explore. I know what's there. I just needed to process everything I just heard. It's amazing. I wouldn't say that he's a rapper though. At least not in this album. I haven't listened to any of his other work. I do want to though. Let me know if you would want me to do like a Discog dive or something on him. But I would say just in this album, at the very least, he is a rock artist who raps. I'll show the prime example. This song is in Promise. So this is very rock. Oh, it's so good. Honestly, really good. And then, he's putting his all into it. And he speeds it up a little bit. Then he goes back to the rock. So he switches between rap and rock. So flawlessly too, it sounds good. Oh, I love that. The crescendo and then it just drops off. It's so nice. And then how good is this? Honestly, I really like it. And he's comes from, I think, Tennessee, where he's from, but he's got a bit of a country twang on him, which again offers a little bit more diversity to his sound. Yeah, Nashville, Tennessee is where he's from. But yeah, and the first track is a very similar vibe to that one as well, rapping over heavy metal guitar with the chorus being very rock. But then listen to Save Me, which is the second song, and it's insane. So I'll play the first song. I'll play the end of that, so you can get the vibes. Oh, honestly, I've forgotten how good this is. I know it's good, but I forgot just how good it is. And then the second song comes in, and it's completely switched up the vibe again. It's a whole different genre to this man. It's a whole nother, side to him. And when he sings, oh my god! How can someone... Bro, why didn't I know about this man? This is insane! Oh, honestly, I could do a first reaction throughout the whole thing, and it's my ninth time listening to this. My reaction is the same the first time I heard it, which is really impressive that it hasn't lost any replayability at all. It sounds the exact same as when I first listened to it. I'm just able to sing along with it now. Yeah, if that's not diversity, I don't know what is. So this is Overdose. So he's rapping fast, and then he'll hit you with one of these. Then he'll speed it up again. I like that. Every now and then he'll just hit you with a little bit of singing, with a little bit of rock with a country twang. I don't like country that much, but it fits really, really well. It's so... every time he does it, it catches me. Even if I know when it's coming, no matter how many times he does it, it catches me, and I love it. Every time I hear it, I need to stop what I'm doing and just make a filthy frank noise. It's that dirty. I love it. He truly does have a sound of his own. And it's just, luckily for me, it's a mix of all of my favourite sounds. I mean, I was made to listen to this man. He's rap, he's rock, he's a little bit emo, and his voice is different from everyone else. Like, it's literally everything I want in one man. I was made for this man. Please marry me, Jelly. The production is the exact same as well. It's a perfect mix between rock and rap. You heard some of it already. The rock is the guitar beat that's there, the very distorted, shredding it up guitar, and then the rap is the 808 drums and the bass line. The bass line isn't like a bass guitar, which I'm still a fan of. It's like an 808 drum. It's like a bass hit, and I'm more of a fan of that just because it sounds more modern. It's honestly like such a perfect mix. It's like if Linkin Park does rap. It's literally perfect. I also saw that Jelly Roll co-produced a few tracks. I see you there, mate. I see you. I seriously did not want this album to end. Like, it's obvious that he is not a young man, and he is going to struggle to compete with the Lil Babies and the NLE Choppers and the Travis Scotts for the young people's attention. It's going to be a struggle for him to be able to capture that. And obviously, due to his appearance as a whole, he simply won't just be able to pump out some like simple SoundCloud rap or whatever the fuck Doo-Wop Kane is doing now. He needs to do something different, otherwise he's just not going to be able to be taken seriously. And I honestly think that this is the perfect mix between old and new. Like, it's modern sounding, but it's heavily inspired from old sounds, if that makes sense. Like, it's like you've taken an old album and just remastered it. It definitely settled down in the second half, though. You heard there it was very punchy in the vocals. He had a lot of gusto behind his voice, and it was definitely more subtle in the second half of the album. It's still the same style, still the same topics and everything like that, but there wasn't as much behind his voice. One thing that does bother me as well, this is probably the most annoying thing in the album, it's the vocals on Explode. They were very, very quiet. And with a title like Explode, that is not at all what I would expect. But like, that's not that big of an issue. And for that to be the biggest gripe I have with this album, that's really saying something. Feature-wise, almost everyone was fantastic. Ritz, while he was good, like, nothing lyrically to point out, he did really well on that front. I don't think his voice fit that well. And then My Name Cushy, who was on One More Bride, the very last track. I don't know who he is, so I don't know how often he uses auto-tune, but he did on here, and it did not fit the theme of the track at all. Jelly was singing about a few of the friends that he's lost, and like, he just wants one more car ride with them, bumping tunes, having a good time and enjoying themselves. He's not putting a heap of gusto behind his voice. He's not, like, he doesn't have emotion just boiling out of him or anything. He's just saying, I'm quite sad about missing my friends. I really want them here. And he's like, it's quite emotional, but it's not like boiling out of him, And yeah, it being the last track as well is a little bit disappointing for the feature to be like that much of a miss, because it does leave a bad taste in your mouth for the album. Mercules, though, earlier on in the album, on 5 AM, he killed it. Like, next level. I'm definitely checking his stuff out. He matched Jelly perfectly, and yeah, I just realised I haven't even said what this album is about yet. It's about personal struggles, his struggles with drug addiction, his ongoing alcoholism addiction, and just trying to be better but failing. He mentions that it's between this weird place of who you were and who you want to be. You're doing better than you were because you're aware that you need to fix the issues, but you're still not as good as who you want to be because you're still in that dark place. You're still a piece of shit who's taking drugs. You're still, in that mindset. Like, you're not strong enough to overcome this. You don't have enough self-control to break out of these habits. You're aware you need to, but you're just not strong enough yet. Out of all of the songs, though, Still My Hero has to be my absolute favourite. Like, the shit made me teary, honestly. It's about losing your father. It had two features on it, Savannah Dexter, She was on the chorus, and then I think it's pronounced Bravo Gator. He had a verse. I don't know if they've all lost their dads or not, but they all had enough emotion behind themselves to make me think that they have. Bravo had a line in it which it really got to me. I watched you move mountains to me, but then I watched you struggle to walk. Like, Jesus. If that doesn't pull on something inside of you deep down, that is insane. The album was so close to being flawless. If it wasn't for Ritz, My Name Cushy, and if it wasn't for the album kind of losing some of its energy towards the second half, I would consider it to be perfect. It's an absolutely wonderful album. I'm thinking either a 9 or a 9.5 out of 10. So seriously, congrats to Jelly Roll. I'm so glad I checked out your album because your name was funny. And yeah, I'm genuinely going to listen to the rest of your stuff. And I saw as well on your Instagram live story that you're going to be bringing out a collaborative project with Vampire Barbie, who I also haven't heard of, but you're in it, so I'm going to give it a listen. Yeah, so let me know what you guys thought of this album down below. That's a wrap.